be having Onobajo Oluwatomi saying she is an experienced software quality assurance consultant with domain knowledge in fintech, edutech, AR technology, and research industry. Tomi has a master's degree in information technology. She's a certified software test manager, and her comprehensive knowledge of the industry, best practices, testing methodologies, and tools has enabled her to collaborate seamlessly with development teams, driving the creation of robust and dependable software solutions. Beyond her technical prowess, Tomi is a dedicated mentor who finds immense fulfillment in sharing her knowledge and experience with aspiring QAs. Now, I mean, if you have her here, you already know that that is what she's here to do. So again, let's use the chat session to make welcome Tomi Sim, a QA specialist from Accenture. Okay, Tomi, we can't see you, but I don't know if we can hear you. We can't hear you yet, and we can't see you yet.
I can hear you. Can
Loud
you
and
hear
clear,
me?
I can hear you
Yeah.
now, but we can't see you yet.
I'm not sure why my
I
camera.
think the camera is off, so it's dark. Like when the camera is dark, so
Okay.
is that camera dark mode? Yeah. So probably you might want to give your Chrome browser the permission for your video, and that might
Yeah,
possibly you quitting your browser and joining again.
yeah, I think I have to do that. So I'll do that quickly.
Okay, let me use that to engage. Now, the five people you are going to. So while we wait for Tomi to get a camera, all you guys want to see her face. Of course, I know you want to. While we are waiting for Tomi to be back on, go and bring me the five people. This is the time. Go and drink water. Go and get juice. See, today's session is very important for me. I have to take my juice here. I have to take my biscuit here. I have to eat my food here. So please go and relax. Go and take it. Just stand up from where you are seated. And stretch your body. In fact, one of the things we did from Mama Goody Bag was not with us when we did that. Where is Adobe? I think our network is off. We did exercise at work, so stand up from your chair. I know you have been sitting since morning. Stand up from your chair. And a lot of people have been commenting about this my shirt since yesterday. I have shirts like this, and what I wrote on my shirt is, with the mastery comes the millions. That is my copyrighted quote. With the mastery comes the million. I have another hoodie called Adbatesta. And you're gonna be seeing amazing items like this on November 11th. See, when you are coming, just drive down, because so that you can use your boots to pack things. So sure you get. You will need it. I mean, you're gonna be winning prizes, you're gonna be winning a lot of things. So you want to bring that, you're gonna be getting everything that day. Some people are going to be winning shares, some people are going to be buying food, you're playing games, you are winning football, it did here. Table tennis, you will meet it here. Ludo you can play, we meet it here. Card, we meet it there. We'll be dancing, we'll be singing, because testers just needs to unwind. I think it's because we don't unwind at times. We used to have too much muscle. So it's gonna be a fun day. Don't worry, there'll be no technical workshop every time. Okay, now very good. I have seen Kilani Abu Kabir from Emmanuel Ogunleye. I've seen Kilani Abu Kabir from Emmanuel. So I've taken that down. If you invite anyone here, tell them to mention your name. Okay? Invited 5 people. Get 5 people. Those 5 people must stay to the end though, because I will call their name at the end of this session. I will call, don't just come here, come and write and from social place and then you disappear. You have to stay to the end, because at the end of this session, I will do a roll call. Now, Emmanuel Kilani Abdul Kabir. From Emmanuel Ogunleye. Who else is bringing their people back on this call? Who else? Go and invite. And somebody else said, Aminu Olamide is from Benga. Benga what? Benga what? We need to know which Benga, because there are a lot of Benga on this call, right? So Aminu Olamide is from Benga words. Okay? While we still wait for Tomi to get our camera thing sorted, Please, where can I join the Slack? Okay, ASAP, I am here for you. I am here for you. Okay, so that is the link for you to join us on Slack, Rosemary. Yeah, the link is displayed on the screen. Now, I am here from Ajoke Arisco Mosti. Arisco Mosti. I don't know if you know why we are here, but what we are here to, we have been here for the last 5 hours, so we are here to have an intensive hands-on experience today. Arisco Mosti, Ajoke words. So I've seen Benga Fagbile. Okay, awesome, awesome. Benga Fagbile. Ajoke works. We don't know what Ajoke, because a lot of Ajoke. Please tell us the full name, okay? Full name. So Demilade what? Elizabeth Shonubi. Elizabeth Shonubi. Elizabeth Shonubi is from Demilade. But what's Demilade's full name? We are giving them a gift and we want to be able to reach out to them. You want to sign? Okay, for the remember you sign up tonight. You're signing up tonight. You're signing up tonight. Sign up. Demilade Atoyebi, awesome. Atoyebi, yes, but I don't know which Adoke Arisco. I don't know which Adoke invited you. Let me see. So, Juma, you'll be able to sign up tonight. Let me see. Tommy is here. Yes, we can see your face now. All right. You guys should continue inviting people. I'll be piling up the name in the chat section, not to worry, while we allow Tommy to take us from here. So, Tommy, over to you.
Great. Hi, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Just starting my timer on the side here.
Okay. Yes. Can you hear her? I can see her and I can hear her loud and clear, but don't let me be selfish. So who else can hear? Let me see. I'm here. Who else can hear her? Can you hear Tommy? Tommy, can you speak? Who else can hear Tommy?
Hi,
Yes,
can
can you hear
me?
Tommy? Can you hear Tommy? Can you see Tommy?
Oh, people are
Hey,
just
Tommy. We can hear you and we can see you.
Oh,
Yes,
great.
I can hear her and I can see her. Amazing. So take us from here, Tommy.
All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm very glad to be here. I also want to just start sharing my screen.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yep. Sorry, this is the first time I'm using StreamYard, so
Okay.
so you will just pardon me.
No, no problem.
I want to share.
Are you sharing from, so you can either share from a video file or a slide, or probably a slide already have your laptop or browser, anyone?
Yeah, I'm sharing from my slide. Can
Okay,
you
I
see?
can see you now.
Okay.
Awesome.
Great.
Sure.
Thank you so much. All right. So hi everyone. My name is Chumi, and I think Ibirunke already gave like a brief introduction about me. I am a certified software test manager with about 7 years of experience, and I currently work with Accenture Canada. I enjoy testing a lot, and one of the things that I also do, like part of the test that I enjoy doing, is API testing and maybe performance testing on the side. And I really do enjoy API testing because I have a mathematics background, a background in mathematics, and I am able to apply all my analytical skills that I've been able to learn from the numerical analysis and all of the jargons that I learned in school. I'm able to apply more of that when doing my API test because I can really play around with numbers, play around with functions and variables. So I'm not going to bore you too much about the details on why I like API testing. I'm just going to go right into it. Sorry, I need to play this slide so it goes smoothly. All right. But let me know as soon as maybe there's an hiccup or you can't hear me, and I'll be able to answer your questions. The agenda for today will be to introduce you to API testing. If you are hearing this for the first time, why Postman? Why is there a fuzz around using Postman for testing and would just have like some hands-on experience on how you can test using Postman, how you can automate your test cases. Everybody wants an easy life. You don't want to have to do a lot of things manually because testing itself can be very daunting if you don't enjoy doing it. And I'll tell you this for a fact. So by the time you have some tools that make life easy for you, then it becomes like an easy peasy for you too as well. It becomes what you then enjoy, finding things that make life very easy for you, right? And then we'll have question and answers. I have my timer here. Once I get to my time, I would stop so that I can take your questions. Okay. Oh, so what is an API? If you're hearing API for the first time, API is an application program interface, right? And the way I say it, I usually use like this very funny analogy. I see it as bread and butter. If you have like just normal buttered bread, and you want to consume that bread, it's it is nice, like it satisfies your taste buds. But by the time you had maybe butter in between this bread or whatever filling that you like, maybe jam or something, if you add that to the bread, it changes the taste, right? It could either enhance it or you could in most cases it enhances the taste, except if you are not a fan of maybe the filling, maybe the jar, the jam or the butter, or maybe the Nutella or whatever you put in between your bread. So I see API as the that one string that connects multiple applications together. And for API first company, they rely so much on APIs. I've had the opportunity to work with like companies that rely so much on APIs, and we are able to do a lot. You can just plug in multiple systems into one API and you can achieve different products doing this. A typical example is our Uber app, for instance. We have Uber, and Uber has like a different component to it. It has Uber Eats, it has the Uber ride itself, it has a place where you can order groceries and all of that. And then you see that different drivers from different riders, different people can just come on the Uber app and they'll be able to, put in their car information and get requests from people like us where we order our ride and it takes us to our destination. What backs up all of these things to be able to be very much integrated, because there's Uber everywhere, right? To be very much integrated is the help of an API. And when I mean API, there are APIs like Google Maps. You need Google Maps to run. You need an API that literally programs different, or an API that has different restaurants where you can order food and the integration happens smoothly, seamlessly. You don't even know that this is happening. You just know that you're going to an application, you're ordering a ride, and a ride gets to you. You're ordering food from, maybe you can order from a restaurant of your choice, Commit Booker, whatever. You just know that that gets delivered to you. Like, do you ever wonder how all of these restaurants are able to be in just one app? Is with the help of an API. And a lot of companies are going through like the API first approach these days. And the reason why they are doing this is because they want to have like multi-tenant systems, and you hear that a lot because people want to ensure that their app cannot just do one thing. The app is flexible enough to do a whole bunch of stuffs. Yes, I hope I've been able to. If you are hearing about API for the first time, I hope I've been able to tell you what exactly API is in a layman understanding. We have
Yeah,
type
sorry.
API.
I want to
Yeah.
cut it that your slide is not moving. We are still on the first page.
Oh, sorry about that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we can see the types of APIs page now.
Can you see types of APIs now? Okay.
Yes.
I think I'm just going to do it the manual way. Sorry about that. So do view and then navigator. So I'll do it the manual way so it's not wobbly. All right. So we have types of APIs, and there are different types of. I'm giving you all this background because when we get into, we literally can learn all about testing API with Postman in 30 minutes. But I want to give you all this background so that when you pick it up yourself, you would have an understanding and you'll be able to relate to some of the things that you learn all by yourself, right? We have types of APIs. We have the public APIs. We have the private API, we have partner APIs, and we have composite APIs. Public APIs are the ones that are readily available to us at any time to consume, like Google Maps. Google is just there. You can go in there and then integrate to it. You just need to get token and a code and all of that, and you'll be able to integrate. You can even play around with it as a tester. We have private or internal APIs, and these are APIs that are used within a company. You will find a lot of payments, um, fintech companies using private or internal APIs. Then we have partner APIs and all of that. These are just like different segments or different groups at which you can actually consummate APIs, or you can build your API around it. So this is just giving you like an understanding of what APIs are. And in most cases, when we're talking about API, we are talking about, client, the server, the database, and all of that. And what we would use typically, there's SOAP and there's REST, but REST is very common. And REST is common because it is HTTPS, it is secured, and it is very easy to consummate. Like you can really understand it. Do you need to have like a basic knowledge of programming to be able to do API testing? Yes, you do, but you just need the basic. You don't need to even be intermediate. Once you can understand that, oh, there's a JSON, once you understand what data types are, you understand, oh, JSON objects, JSON mean JavaScript object notation. Once you can understand those basic things, then you should be able to pick up API testing on your own, like add it to your CV and say, yes, I can do API testing. And then you would build on that. So the next thing here is your API test approach. You want to start early. API is very good because every other person can connect to it. And based on my own experience, I find that if you have like a very solid API, there's a good chance that you'll have a solid application. So if you have not had the experience to test APIs before, I think this is your time to start. And then why Postman? Postman is really good because I'm going to be showing you all of that. Why you should be using Postman, the documentation, you can use it to collaborate, you can integrate. It's a freemium tool in the sense that you can do a whole bunch of stuff like for free, right? And then you can either now, if you want to do more stuff, you can now go to the premium part where you have to pay. And that's why a lot of people choose Postman, and because it's easy, their UI is fantastic. You can always, and they keep improving and inventing. They also have like I'm not here to sell Postman to you, but they also have like a very good support community whereby if you get stuck, you would always find answers online in a community, and it's inclusive. They have like lots of webinars from time to time. I think like weekly webinars where you can actually go in there and learn from them too as well. So the way I design how to get started, you can download Postman, obviously from the Postman application. There are no dependencies required. You don't need to do your NPM and do all these NPX, like maybe you need to have Node or all of that, except when you want to start doing some other, advanced stuff like Newman and the likes. That's when you need all of these dependencies. Aside from that, you can just go in freely on the web and download it, or you can even just use the web version, and you can get to do that from this link that is currently being displayed. I designed my test suite in a collection and folder hierarchy, and I'm just going to go to Postman to show you how I do that. So here in Postman, this is what the interface looks like after you have downloaded it. I hope I am still sharing my screen. Let's see. I think because I moved slide, so it's not going to.
Yeah, I can see your test suits.
Yeah, give me 1 minute. I need to reshare the slides. Present share screen. All right. Sorry, I think I should rather share my entire screen.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Okay.
As long as you don't have anything confidential on it.
No. All scrubbed out. All right. Okay. So I'm sharing my entire screen now, which I think should make more sense. So We have, is it clear enough?
You might need to increase the fonts. Like it's quite very tiny.
Let
Just
me.
plus, just yeah, just zoom in also. Just plus the control plus tab. What's it? What does it make? What does it increase the font?
There you
Yes,
go.
awesome, awesome. This is better.
So, um, I think that will be rather too much.
Yeah, that'll be too. I need to increase, reduce it
All
to
right,
one level.
there you go.
Yeah, this is
All
fine.
right, so this is what my Postman collection looks like, and I have this as RESTful Booker platform. That's a very common API that you can, walk around with. You can always go in there and you can test. And the APIs would normally look like this when you're creating. So, how do you even get to know these APIs? Where do you get all this API information from? You would have like a Swagger collection. Nobody is going to expect you to just build an API on your own and start testing. You will have a Swagger collection, or you will have like an API documentation. Some people use Swagger, some people use API documentation and just document it in a Word document. And once you get that, you are able to extract information such as this. This is an API that allows you to um, book a room on an hotel application, like an actual hotel application. You can see your first name, you can enter your first name here, your last name. So all of those things that you see on a UI feed are the things that are populated here. So you can see your first name, you can see your last name, you can say the total price that you want to pay or that you should pay for that particular room that you're booking. There's a booking date, there's check-in, there's checkout date, checkout time, and all of that. So what APIs would typically help you do is it's sending it in the back end. So everything that you have to send in the front end, you can actually just, there's an API, there's something processing it to the server and giving you back a result. So what you would do in Postman is, so I have automated a lot of things because I want to make life easy for me. I have my base URL here. The base URL is typically where the information gets started from, and then we have the endpoint that points to the particular action that you want to carry out on the website. A typical scenario of this is we are all logged in here to LinkedIn for us to be able to join this particular seminar or webinar, right? And everybody is on streamyard.com/a code. Streamyard.com is the base URL for everything StreamYard. So if there's another, maybe if Iberonke, for instance, is hosting another webinar, the last number after that slash or the last code after that slash will definitely be different because that is an endpoint to another meeting. That's the meeting ID. So in this case, I would say that they are using the meeting ID as the endpoint because that's the only way you can differentiate Ibironke's meeting from Tomins's meeting, right? So it's a function of you ensuring that you know the right endpoints to call. And in this case, I'll show you an example of what an API documentation is because that way it then makes sense to you, right? So this is the API documentation for the APIs that we are about to test. And you would see that it has like get bookings ID because you can always get the bookings and it returns like information of all the bookings that exist in the system. You can create a booking, and like I said, no one is going to expect you to go and start creating no one is going to expect you to start developing APIs. All you just need to do is to test the APIs. You can run your manual test and you can run your automation test all in Postman. It's like an all-in-one tool. And then again, bear in mind that I'm not here to sell Postman to you. I'm just here to tell you about how you can make life easy using life easy for yourself using Postman. So I have this JSON file here that says first name and last name. And right here and here, it has already told me that this is my response request body, and this is the response that I should be getting back. It says response code status 200. For those of you that already know what APIs is, can you pop in the chat the HTTP status codes that you're familiar with, and then we can play around with one or two of it. So I want you to pop it in the chat a status code that you know and the meaning of that status code. Maybe this could also be an um a gift, something. I don't know. If you're okay, will tell us. So if you know any status code, just pop it in the chat and tell us what that status code
Start
means.
popping, start popping, start popping. You people, you just want the hair. I know it is 200. I just knew the shades of 200 will follow. You see, Toby Balogun Kukuma wrote all this thing.
Okay, nice to be 400
Toby,
bad
that
price,
is fair.
201. Yeah, so 201
That is just
is,
unfair.
yeah.
You just make everything. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. So 201 is created actually. 200, okay, yeah, makes sense. So you need to understand, you need to have an idea of what HTTP status code is. And if you're new here and you're probably learning all of these things for the first time, not to worry. They are all like information that you can get online just to ensure that you have like an idea of what is required of you, because when you're presented with and thank you so much guys for engaging, when you're presented with a when you're presented with an API documentation, the expectation is for you to be able to tell them that, oh, if for instance you're doing a get and you're not getting the exact error that you should be getting, like 400 or like a 500 internal server, if you are getting a 500 internal server error, you definitely know that that error is coming. Anything in the fives, you definitely know that that error is coming from the server, right? It shouldn't be post to a user. And what would I do in that scenario? I will let the developer know that we need to at least give a custom error, like a 404 not found, or give like a 400 bad request. So you as a tester need to ensure that you understand these different HTTP status code and when to use them. The good thing now is in Postman, you can as well just put in all your expected results, just the way we would have our expected results and our actual results in our Excel sheets, right? You can as well just, okay, that's my alarm. You can as
Yeah.
well just have your expected results in Postman. So I have this request here that is saying, create a booking. When I click on send, you can see that I have 4/4 test results here. The first thing I'm checking is I'm checking that my status code is correct. It's 200 OK, right? I am also checking that my response body contains string, and you can always like define whatever you want it to be. So I'll go back to my test now, and I'm saying that I want my response body, right? In the entire response body, I want it to contain a string, Robris, because that's the last name that I've passed here, right? Robles is the last name. If I change this guy, if I change it to Robris X, I expect that one of the tests should fail. So when I change this, you can see that one of the test case failed. So this is a very effective way. It makes life very easy for you, even when you just want to tweak a test case and see whether you are getting the right thing at the right time, right? So if I remove this guy and I change it to just Robris and I do a send here, if I hit the send button, you would see that it passes. The other thing is I want to verify that the page, let me see what I'm checking here. I want to verify that the testing booking dates, you can see that this says it goes to, there's something called an array, right? So it goes to the booking here, and then it checks that the check-in date is equal to 2019-0101, right? And then I'm also checking that my first name is equals to the first name that I've passed here. And I'm able to do all of these things because I have already set my first name in an environment variable. So in an event whereby you have unique identifiers and something does not repeat itself, and that's what I'm doing with first name, right? Even though the first name is not a unique identifier, but I'm able to create a different. So if you see now, the first name here is test 50. If I run this again, the test name is going to change from test 50 to test 93. So instead of you thinking about, oh, what will be my test data? How will I generate a test data for unique identifiers? You wouldn't need to do that because there is the ability for you to have like a variable here that can randomly generate. You have like a function rather that randomly generates this test data for you, and you don't have to worry about how do I generate my test data and all of that. So it pretty much makes sense. It helps you to, you know, draft all your test cases the way you envisage it to be, and you don't have to do so much, right? When I had the opportunity to, lead a team, one of the things that I scrapped out was having to document API test cases in Excel sheet, because I feel like it's going to be very mundane when you can actually do all of these things in Postman. Another interesting thing here is you can actually run an entire test script in a split second. So I have this test case here. I have a bunch of test cases here. I have categorized this by the different endpoints. Remember, I talked about endpoints. So I've categorized this by different endpoints that I have that exist in the API collection or in the API documentation. So I categorize this, and I can, once I hit my run button here, it's going to run all the tests that I have in this particular collection, right? And it's going to give me a result. It will tell me the ones that failed, and it will tell me the ones that are successful. Then I can narrow it down. You can see that there is one failed test case here, which is a 409 conflict, but it is expecting, so expected response to have 409, but it got 201 created. That means there is an error somewhere, and you can easily just go in and go and check why this is returning a 201. Another interesting thing that you can do is you can always export your results, and you can always export your results. You can monitor it to say that this particular test should run at a certain time, and you can do that by using Postman monitors. So in Postman monitors, it will run at a certain time, and at that time that it runs, it's always very good for continuous deployment. You would have heard people say, oh, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Instead of you having to go integrate with a tool like Jenkins or a tool like Circle CI and all of that, to be able to run in the pipeline and give you, results. You can be proactive enough to say that, okay, I want to monitor. And then when I monitor, it should send me, you would see like, this is what all my runs are like, look like right now, because I just have some things running in the background. So you want to monitor and be able to say that, oh, this is how my test performed, like on the, okay, and that's about it. This is what my test performed on the 24th of August, right? And on the 24th of August, I have all success. If I run it again, maybe September 9th, and something failed, it's definitely going to show me that something has failed, right? And that's how you can, use Postman to your advantage. Again, this is actually a very, very short time to be able to tell you about all the things that Postman can do. But I hope that you've been able to get one or two things, and maybe when you subscribe to Ibiro Care's classes, you'll be able to learn more about it. It's also very fantastic because you can integrate it to a tool like Jenkins, and when it runs, you can also like get feedback. This is just one of the builds that I ran like few minutes ago, and it just shows that it was successful. So you can always go run all of this tests in, their integrations, and you can run it in Jenkins. You can even back it up on GitHub if you want. This is also like a good starting point for you. Someone had talked about today about how you can improve yourself and how you can just put yourself out there. You can always go and create collections on Postman, try out some of all of the test scripts, right? Try out the functions, try to add pre-request script, try to work around your variables and post that on GitHub. And by all means, you can put that your GitHub profile link in your CV too as well. Yeah, so that's about it for like just a very brief introduction about what Postman can do, really brief. And I will be able to take questions now because I don't want to run out of my time.
Wow. I mean, I think that is the best way to end the last workshop for today. Ladies and gentlemen, wow, I will have problem in this meeting today. Why you guys? Is it your network that is delaying, or is it me that is not reading it? Okay, while I wait for them to wrap their head around all the knowledge they just consume that. I mean, it's the shortest time to get to anyone to deliver on poster, but I think you actually covered so much. Thank you so much, Tommy, for that wonderful session. Very engaging, very interactive. In fact, you see that I didn't even bother you twice. I didn't even bother you for time up twice because I was just reading all the comments in the chat session. They are following, they are fighting between 201 and 200. I didn't even know when time was up. Wow. Thank you so much for that
Yeah.
wonderful session. And like somebody said in the chat session, I've learned so much on Postman from this short session. I wish we can do more of this. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you. This was amazing. So you guys should tell me, what did you learn from this session? Thank you, Tommy, for your time. And you guys should know that she's not in Nigeria. Fatima too is not in Nigeria. So you can imagine the time difference. Adiatu is not in Nigeria. Imagine the time difference, but they still decided to wake up and come and give people knowledge. 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 Thank you, Tommy. Really appreciate your time with us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You're amazing. Yes, she is amazing. She is amazing. Thank you, Tommy. Can we have more? Can she have more time? No, tie her down now. tie her down.
I
Thank you
think I
so
can. Sorry, Princess. I try to be very fast, like even finish 5 minutes before my time. If I can, I can take one question. If there's just
much.
one
Okay, do
burning
you have
question
any
that
question
seems to
from
be,
anybody?
we can just
Any question?
do that. Yeah.
Somebody said, thanks to me, I learned that I can integrate this test in CI/CD flow. Yes, you can. Yes, yes. Who has a question? You are saying to me looks like me. Do you want me? I've actually heard it a lot.
Right.
Yeah, the initial time that I posted your picture, you're doing this kind of head too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they said I looked. Then you guys have said, Tommy, you look like me. If you look like me, I don't know how I'm resembling everybody in this life. Thank you so much. Nobody has a question. What an excellent testers you are. So if we didn't have any question, I want to be like you people when I grow up, you know. But anyways, I believe that if there's any question after now, we'll surely shoot it into your DM on LinkedIn. And yes, you can also follow to me on. I'm always sending people. Okay, somebody has a question. How can Postman be integrated into Git?
Yeah, that's actually very easy. I won't go into all the details because we are out of time.
Mhm.
But I'll point you to that direction. If you go to home, so you already have your collection, right? One thing you should also know that you can use Newman to run your collection in a CI/CD terminal, and once you are able to pack that, you'll be able to run it anywhere. So for Git, if you go to home, right, I'm just going to select my. You go to integrations, right? You can see that I have my GitHub here because my collection is backed up on GitHub, even though it says 3 or 4 field. So you can go here and I have my Square API, I have RESTful Booker API, I have GitHub, I have all of that. So you go to integrations. So first thing is you go to Home, you go to integrations, and then you search. You can browse all integrations, and then you come to GitHub here, right? And then you can see sync API. This is deprecated, so don't worry about it. So I would say you can do backup a collection. So this one tells you whatever you want to do. Say backup your Postman collections to GitHub. So you come here, it says I currently have 4 integrations added. So you come here and you do add integration, then you just follow the prompt. You would enter your access token provided by GitHub. So you have to go to GitHub, go to your settings, developer, get your token there. Then once you populate this token here, it will automatically it would even populate all your information. Then you can follow the prompt. And once you follow the prompt, you're already backed up to GitHub. It's that easy. Very, very easy. You can do the same thing too for Jenkins, for Circle CI. It's just pretty straightforward. Just still go back to home and go to integrations and then browse all integrations. You can see it has a whole, but you can see AWS here. It has Bitbucket, it has GitLab, it has Jenkins, New Relic, Azure DevOps. Everything is there, and it's super easy. Trust me, you don't need to be a DevOps wizzy to be able to do this. You just need to find information online and follow the prompts, and you'll be good.
Amazing. Thank you. I mean, that was the justice that could be done to that question. And there's so many amazing tools you can also use as well here. And like you said, you don't need to be a DevOps guru to get
Yeah.
this integrated
Mm.
at
Mhm.
all. So thank you so much, Domi. I mean, the chat session is,
Thank you.
yes, she's a great teacher. She's a great teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. She's not my
Thank
sister. You don't do you small thing, you will scatter everything. She your sister, you we are blood, the same father, the same mother. You will start your whole name. All right, thank you so much, Tommy, for the
Yeah.
wonderful session.